Hi, my name is Jamie Howell, and I'm doing a presentation on the classroom management theory of Dr. Harry Wong. Some background information on Dr. Wong. He was a former science teacher from San Francisco, California. He authored a book called The First Days of School, How to Be an Effective Teacher. And he co-authored a book with his wife, Rosemary, called The Classroom Management Book. And he and his wife currently live in Mountain View, California. According to an interview with Education World, Dr. Wong defines classroom management as the practices and procedures that allow teachers to teach and students to learn. Teaching is all about student achievement. Procedures set the classroom and students up for achievement. If you teach procedures and stick with them, you won't have the need to discipline. In the same article with Education World, Dr. Wong compares procedures and rules. A procedure is not a rule. A procedure is a task. Procedures reduce the need for rules and discipline. Dr. Wong's theory is congruent with some of Ellen White's writings. In the book Education, on page 233, Ellen White writes, "The teacher should constantly aim at simplicity and effectiveness. They should teach largely by illustration and should be careful to make every explanation plain and clear. This should be done while teaching procedures to students. You want to teach the procedures by example so that the students know exactly what you want and what you expect from them." Dr. Wong says, if you take the time to set procedures and routines in the classroom, you actually have more time to teach and get to know the students. Students automatically know what to do, so the teacher isn't stopping all the time to scold students. On pages 231 and 232 in the book Education, Ellen White writes, "In all true teaching, the personal element is essential. Christ in his teaching dealt with the men individually. It was by personal contact and association that he trained the 12. The same personal interest, the same attention to individual development are needed in educational work today." One of the procedures that Dr. Wong recommends is greeting your students as they enter the classroom. This immediately sets up a relationship with them, and it shows the students that you recognize them and that you care for them. Applying Dr. Wong's theory to a multi-grade classroom has many advantages. First of all, you have self-sufficient students. My students, I've taught them the procedure of how we do our morning work. We do our calendar time all together, and then we split off into groups. The older kids know that once we finish with calendar time, they go back to their seats, they get their handwriting books out, and they do handwriting, and once they're done with that, they go and do their computer work and their journal. And this helps because then they don't have to keep asking me or get confused on what they need to be doing or how to do things. Another advantage of applying this theory to a multi-grade classroom is you have less distractions. Your students aren't getting up and wandering around looking for something to do, and they aren't raising their hand saying, Miss Howell, what am I supposed to do now that I'm done?" So this is something that I like in my classroom because I'm not being interrupted 20 times in 20 minutes with the students asking what they can do. They know the procedures, they know what to do, and when they're done with something and how to do it. A third advantage of applying this to your multi-grade classrooms would be that your classroom runs more smoothly. Like I said before, you don't have 20 questions in 20 minutes of what can I do? What am I supposed to be doing? The students know, okay, I'm done with handwriting, so now I go to the computer and work on my spelling and typing. They know what to do, so you don't have the questions, and all you have to do is just scan and make sure that all the students are on task and following the procedure and doing what they're supposed to be doing. Another advantage of applying this to a multi-grade classroom would be more one-on-one time between the grade levels and the teacher. If everyone's working on what they're supposed to be doing and following the procedures that they've learned and have been taught, then it's easier for the teacher to call up and a grade level to the table and give them their undivided attention instead of trying to figure out what everyone else in the classroom needs.